All right, here's the loadout of my everyday bag, the Vito TP-XXL. I've had it for right around a year. I think I got it last year at the spring promo and got the free MB2 blackout bag, which is also, it's a great bag. I love all the Vito bags that I've got. I've got probably too many, my wife would say. But anyways, just wanted to show you guys around. This is only my second real video, but the difference between this and the TP-XL is these 2-meter bags. It's a little bit deeper front to back, and it might be a little bit taller. I can't remember. It comes with a shoulder strap. I just took it off just for showing it. I like to have the shoulder strap because it gets kind of heavy. But just starting on the outside, on, we'll say the left side, I carry 2 lockout tags. Always. It's got 3 tape measure clips on it, one on each side. I don't flip my tape measure onto them. I've always got it clipped onto my pants. This little pocket out here, I've got some alligator clips for my fluke meter. I love those things, they come in so handy. A little non-contact voltage tester. I've got 2 of them in here. I'm not sure why I got this guy, but then I've got some Allen bits that'll fit into screwdriver or your impact or something like that. They're real cheap. I got them on Amazon, but they come in handy for a specific tool that I keep on the inside of the bag here. That's it inside there. This side's got my meter, my fluke meter, the T6 1000. This is an awesome meter. I love it that it's auto voltage, AC or DC, so I don't have to switch between, if I'm going into something not knowing whether it's AC or DC. That's pretty handy, but it's also the field sense. So if you got one with a field sense, you got this little grounding thing. You stick your finger on there and you can put it into some live wires, and on the screen it'll show you the voltage and the amperage that's coming off of that. So it's kind of neat, if you get into a junction box that doesn't have wire nuts or something, or you're not at an outlet to test what the voltage is, that can kind of tell you. Got this fuse puller. It's not really, doesn't need to be in this bag. It should be in my other electrical bag. This bag is for my controls bag, so access controls, temperature controls, stuff like that. And I've got a couple pairs of these magnetic jumpers I've seen several guys on these videos have. They come in pretty handy for thermostats, but also just testing to make sure that a device is actually working, or the controller is actually working, if it's supposed to be reading closed. And if you jump across and it's not, then you know it's the controller, not the device or your wiring. Jump to the other side. I usually have a roll of white tape along with my black tape on this tape deal, and then Klein Tools magnetizer and demagnetizer. It comes in handy. I think I just have some of these. Is it Gardner bender? I can't remember what it is, but just lock ring wrenches. They can be kind of handy, especially when you're getting into like a deep cut-in box or something. Can't really reach your finger back there and get it real tight. You can use a beater screwdriver and send it in there, but they're kind of neat. They don't get used that much, but I have them. And I think I just got a mask in there. Then I've got this Klein Tools. I'm not sure how many pieces this is without counting it, but it's a precision screwdriver with a bunch of tamper-proof bits and others in there too. These are pretty cool. I think it was like 30 bucks at Home Depot, but it's kind of neat. You can have it be longer if you really need to reach back in something. You flip it around. Comes in handy. And then Vera, I really like Vera and Knipex tools a lot. This is the standard set of the Hex Plus Allen keys, or L keys, they call them. They're pretty cool. The color coded, so that way you can tell exactly which one you're grabbing. I wish that when I bought these, I couldn't find the set, like with the metric set that I have in there, the different case. Because the other one, it takes up less space than what this does. So I kind of wish that at that time, at least, I would have found it in that other case. And just on the outside, I've got this insulated Vera small flathead screwdriver, terminating screwdriver. Got a little stubby multi in here that I can't get out. A little spring-loaded center punch. I use that a lot for like on metal door frames. If I'm lining something out, I don't got to get a hammer and stuff to put a little ding in it for starting my drill bits and stuff. It's a little kind of a stiff brush. I'm not sure what they're actually used for, but you know, if you're getting into some old devices that are kind of dirty, if I'm messing with it, I'll just go ahead and clean it up while I'm there. You know, keep it from going bad faster if I can save it at all. Make a customer happy. And just a little short Milwaukee bit holder and a number 3 Phillips for doing door frame stuff. Got too much stuff in here probably. These are little crescent. I got these in a set from Home Depot, some flush cuts. They work fine. And then I don't know if these just little needle nose or what you'd call these exactly, but I don't know. I haven't used them that much, but they're in there in case I need them. This little combination square, I use it for when I'm lining stuff out on a door frame or on a door or something like that for getting access control devices, making sure I'm putting things in there straight, lining stuff up. A little resistor pack, resistor kit. Got all these, a whole bunch of different sizes. You know, it tells you inside here what size is each flap of these. It's quite a bit. They come in handy if you run into something where you got to have a resistor in there for, you know, a supervised circuit or something like that, whether it be fire alarm or access control. It's handy to have those. I got this little punch set. They come in handy for different reasons. I've actually got 2 of these in here, but little extendable grabber hook for when you're trying to reach into a tight spot and grab your cable. I kind of wish that it didn't spin around like that so easy, because sometimes you get it in there into a tight spot you can barely see, and it's rubbing up against the side of the cable rather than grabbing onto the cable. That can be kind of frustrating, but they can come in handy at different times. A couple paddle bits or spade bits, whatever you call them. Drilling through wood. 3/4 inch Forstner bit. I use this for, obviously if I'm in a wood door and got to put a 3/4 inch door contact magnet in the door itself. And then there's a unibit or a step bit that only goes to 3/4, again for metal door frames for my 3/4 inch door contacts. Guess I got another one of those in there too. Sorry for bumping that. See if I can fix that. Okay, we'll start at the front, kind of move things out of the way. These Milwaukee strippers, the needle nose type. I love these strippers. I actually have a pair of these for every bag that I use. So I probably have like 5 pairs of these ones. And in another bag, I've got one of the sets that's the lineman tip or the fatter tip. And I actually really like those too, for if you're twisting wires together and stuff. But I just like how sturdy these Milwaukee strippers are. I wish if they went a little bit lower than 20 gauge, I would use them for everything, because there's a lot of times in controls that I'm doing 22 or 24 gauge, and I hate. You can get it with these. You got to turn it sideways, but I'd rather just have the right stripper for the job. Here's the Knipx electrician strippers. These things are awesome. I love the bolt cutters that 832 and 632. The fact that you don't have to thread it in there. You can just stick it in there and cut it off real quick, and they cut so clean. And then it's got the, you know, the wider tip. Like I was talking with the other Milwaukees, you can twist wires together before you put a wire nut on it. If you do that, I like doing it. And then the Knipx twin grip. I actually haven't used these very much. When I first got them, I was kind of hoping that this would be a little bit smaller, just because a lot of what I deal with is 632 and 832 screws. So that won't quite bite down on those screws. But for something bigger, they'd work great. I do use them occasionally if I don't need needle nose to grab stuff. Really a lot, because I paid so much for them. I want to use them at some point. The Knipx long, skinny needle nose pliers. These things are great. They're the Knipx 26. See, is that backwards to you guys? It is probably. There's the 2611 200 millimeter, but they're just real skinny. Like, I can't find a Klein needle nose that's this long, that's this skinny to reach into stuff. Because when I'm, again, working in door frames, I don't want to put a hole bigger than what I need just so I can fit something in to grab it. And then these Knipx 250 mil angled dikes or side cutters, whatever you want to call them. I have a pair of these in every bag, I believe, too. I've been through several pairs of the Klein side cutters, and they just seem to go dull too fast. I'm cutting all the same stuff with these, and they've lasted me forever. I think at least 4 years is the longest pair that I've had, but I'm still using them. And then just some Klein cable scissors, cable shears, whatever you want to call them. I use these occasionally with coax, but I actually have in my everyday pouch, I've got the Knipx electrician scissors that I actually end up using more than I ever touch these. In this bag, so that front pocket I'm all done with. It's got that V-swap panel. If you want to take it out, I don't ever take it out. One, they don't have anything to swap it with yet anyways, but I don't have a need to pull it out. I don't stick a impact or a drill inside there, so it just always stays there. This actually needs to go back into my bag with all the other wrenches, but it's a Husky flex head ratcheting 9/16 wrench. Comes in handy when you need it. And I've got the Husky. It's got 4 different sizes ratcheting wrench. This comes in handy too. I keep came in a 2 set. I keep the smaller set is always on my everyday pouch, which I'll show that in another video. Probably try to get it recorded tonight as well. I love this Klein folding. It's a little bit dirty. I shouldn't have opened that up right there, but the folding sheetrock saw. I love this thing. I can't find it at the 2 Home Depots that I go to often. They don't have it there anymore, and I was wanting to get it for my TP-LC that I did the other video on. I wanted to have this in there for just, quick. Don't need to lug this whole thing in there, but I may have to get online and order me another one of these because I love this thing. Let's see, I got a small set of the Knipx Alligator, not the Cobras. I do prefer the Cobras now. It took a while for me to get talked into the Cobras. I thought that the button would get in the way, but I love the adjustability on the Cobras and the fact that you stick this down in your pocket. A lot of times it goes back. So every time you get it out, it seems like you have to adjust it to get it back on. So if you're doing a lot of the same stuff, I wouldn't go with this one. I would go with the Cobras. They're not much more expensive either. And I don't know. Either way, the Knipx channel locks are the best. They just got the best bite. They work the best. I use them for more than just what you're supposed to use those on. I've got 2 sets of these Knipex pliers wrenches, same size, the 180 mil. These things are fantastic too. I don't use adjustable wrenches anymore. I guess what I get into, I don't need it. I'm sure getting straight onto something with a crescent wrench would still come in handy as opposed to these, but these work great for what I'm doing, what I'm using it for. Then I've got one, I got these in a set of 2. So then I got the little ones. I use these occasionally, but not that often. It's usually the larger ones, the 180s. Couple small wrenches, a 3/8 and a 10 mil. The 10 mil is for when I'm doing actuators, putting actuators on like duct valves, stuff like that. It's usually a 10 millimeter nut on the Johnson Control brand ones anyways. So that's what that's in there for. And then the ratcheting 3/8 is usually for my strut straps, smaller strut straps, or a 3/8 bolt on the one side. Klein crimp tools. I don't like the Milwaukee ones. They just don't work as well as these Kleins. I wish these, you know, what happens with all Klein pliers is they seem to kind of lock up a little bit. I wish they would stay loose, more like all the Knipex pliers, but these work great. I've got a set of these in all my bags as well. Just recently got this level. Thought it was cool that all my Klein levels, I ended up taking this little bolt out because it would always fall out. I don't use it to clamp on pipe that much, but that's what this is for. What brand is this? Ideal. I think I got it at Lowe's. But it's pretty cool the way that the bolt is curved to fit onto the pipe as opposed to being flat. Doesn't really get a great bite on it, and sometimes when you bite, it wants to turn on you a little bit. This does fit on the pipe. That way you don't get dogged. If you run conduit, you understand what a pipe being dogged it means. But this is a great level. It's short. Since it's just a rectangle, I seem to always be putting it on the pipe, magnet side, not to the pipe. But so I got to figure out a way to label it or something. That way I'm always getting it on the magnet side first. They got really strong magnets, and they're all grooved. That way it'll fit on your pipe real well. And this is the tool that I got those Allen keys for. The Wera, I don't remember what they call it exactly, but it's a right angle ratchet driver, and it's got bit storage. You push the button. It's got Phillips, Posi, Torx 20 and 25 in there. Yeah, I like that. I use this a lot for terminals, lugs, I'm sorry, for electrical, and then I use it for the Allen keys on mag locks is what I seem to use it for most at this time anyways. Here's the metric set of the Wera Hex Plus Allen keys, or L keys. This is what I was saying. I wish that I could have found the standard, the SAE Imperial, however you want to say it, set. I wish it was in this holder as opposed, because it doesn't take up as much space as that sleeve. The sleeve is nice, but this just takes up less space in a bag that you're trying to save space in. I've got this little flat pry bar. I don't use it very often, but it comes in handy when I do need it. Got a couple spacers in here for just in case, or also to use as a straight edge. They're spacers for surface mount electric strikes, specifically the HES 9400s or 9600s. I can't remember what they usually come in, but they're handy. Occasionally you got to shim something out, or like I said, just using it as a straight edge for something. And I've got a couple different bit extensions, one 12-inch, this is Diablo, I believe, and then one 6-inch Milwaukee bit extension. They come in real handy a lot. And then a Malco 5/16 and 3/8 flip bit. I really like these mainly just because you're able to clean all the metal off the deal. Usually just using 5/16 for Tapcons, and I typically like to have that longer length, so when you're just easier to get into, put your Tapcon in on a mini when you're running conduit and stuff. Let's see this other side. There's got three of the four Milwaukee hooks from the hook set. They come in handy. Reach into a hole and grabbing your cable. I don't keep the straight pick or awl, whatever I just don't have a use for it for the most part. So I just don't keep it in the bag. Just one more thing to take up space. I've got this little piece of wire that's bent up with a short hook or a close hook on this end. What's this, probably like 8 inches long, and then a little bit wider hook. They come in handy. Occasionally I'll make real long ones out of, not real long ones, like 3 or 4 foot long out of ceiling grid wire, because it's real sturdy. It can flex a little bit, but it's real sturdy. You can use it for grabbing stuff or fishing up a door frame, something like that. These ideal, so far anyways, these ideal terminating screwdrivers are my favorite. The way they fit with these four, your fingers just fit perfect there, and of course this thing that spins, it's a great feel. I've had the Klein ones in the past, but the way that they do their handle, it's kind of a separate piece, and after a while it just kind of wears out and is not really sticky there anymore. So I like these ideal ones. And just a flat file. Got a long 1/4 inch drill bit for drilling through walls. A half round file with a handle. A long flathead screwdriver. What size is that? Well, it says it's a Klein. It's got a number 6. That's all that I can see. I've had it for a long time. I don't know. I use it mostly for screwing on electrical faceplates and stuff like that. I've got one of these in all my bags too, to have a long, I don't know, I use it to pry on stuff a little bit too, if it's not too hard. The Klein extendable screwdriver. This is pretty good. It comes in handy a lot, especially getting into disconnects and stuff. I've got all 3 bits that they can come with. So the number 2 Phillips, and then the larger flathead. Number 1 Phillips, smaller flathead, and the number 1 and number 2 Robertson or square, whatever you want to call it. But those are pretty cool, handy. This 14-in-1 adjustable screwdriver is pretty cool too. Sometimes you got to get into something that's a little bit closer, or set it to kind of a standard length screwdriver. The handle itself is a little bit longer than their typical screwdriver, so that kind of, I don't know, throws me off a little bit, just the way that I like to grab a screwdriver. Sorry, I keep taking this out of frame here, guys. But then, it's got all the bit storage back in there, which is pretty cool. I'm thinking of outfitting it with different bits that I may use more often, like security Torx or stuff like that. But it's pretty neat. I use it. And then I've got this 15-in-1 security bit screwdriver. This just comes in handy. I use it mostly I've got it on this number 6. I don't actually know what you call this, but the little fork there, I use that a lot for using the security screw on card readers and stuff like that. So it doesn't get switched out a whole lot. Occasionally I'll get a security Torx for a camera cover or something like that. Then up here I've just got a bunch of different Allen keys, that'll go into your impact or that 90-degree ratcheting driver. I've got this tool. I actually got it from a carpenter that was, I don't know, he said he was done using it, had several of them, but it's to certain types of door handles. This little deal will fit into the hole, and then that's how you loosen it up to swap the handle out. Different bits. My my keys for my 2 locks on the side over here. Somewhere I've got more of these. I don't know if they just dropped out. Here we go. Yeah, so some of them fell out. I was thinking there was one more set, or one more to the set, but the DeWalt flip socket or flip bits, whatever you want to call them. But again, I got these because it's easy to clean the magnets. And then just some other ones that I may use from time to time. I guess I got a short Malco 1/4 and 5/16 flip bit, and then I don't know what's that, a 3-inch 5/16. That comes in handy for getting Tapcons into. It's about what I use 5/16 for. And up in this pocket up here, you got the hook. Can't see that. Let me adjust that. Sorry guys. Got the hook for hanging, and on this bag, the TP-XXL, you can feed this through, and if you wanted to hang it up for some reason with the lid closed, you can do that. Just kind of got excess stuff, things that I may run into and need to grab. This is one of those 3/4 inch door contact magnets. Got this Klein little stubby ratcheting driver. Comes in handy. I've actually got the Vera Tool Check Plus, so I use that more than I use this. I should compare them. I'm sure that there's a video out there of comparing. Maybe one's, you know, fatter, would work better in different situations. But it's pretty cool. It's fairly cheap. It comes with some other bits too. Let's see if here's the bits for it. Comes with a few things that you would need that for, and then a 1/4 inch, so you can put 1/4 inch sockets on there. I've got quite a few of these in here. When you get electric strikes, usually they'll come with 2 different whips, one for 24 volts and one for 12 volts. So depending on what you're feeding that lock with. And I just like to keep a couple of each. That way, if I run into something, say maybe I'm installing a used lock somewhere for some reason, I make sure that I'm hooking up the right voltage and the right jumper arrangement, because all this is just jumpered the right way to go into it, either 24 or 12 volts. I'm over explaining that, I apologize. And then I've got some resistors that at one location that I work at quite a bit, all of their access control inputs are supervised. So I get a bunch of these and twist them all together, 1,000 ohm resistors. Sorry, I can't get that into focus, but twist them together on one end, and then you wire it up accordingly that way they can see if it's opened or closed, or if it's been tampered with is the biggest reason. I'll just stick that back in there for now. Oh, up here in the lid pouch, got some dolphins that are unfilled. So dolphins are just, I don't know, kind of like a wire nut, but you crimp it, basically. These ones are unfilled, and these blue ones are filled, so they're filled with silicone. Anytime I'm installing something that's outside or at a door that's next to outside, I'll use the filled ones for sure. That way to kind of help with corrosion and protect the wires. There's a little chain that goes with this magnet. It's a flexible magnet. You can stick it up into door frames and stuff, and tape this onto your cable or wire they're trying to feed down, and then grab it with the magnet carefully and pull her through. It comes in handy occasionally. I use these more often, bend them up and get them up there. Magnet seems to break loose quite a bit. Some extra resistors that aren't twisted together yet. Some wire numbers for labeling your cables or wires if you're pulling a bunch at the same time. Then I've just got a assortment of screws that come with devices. Screws that I don't use typically, but maybe I'll run into a situation where I need to utilize some of these screws for something else even. Put this back in here real quick just to, so I don't lose my mind at the mess. Then the last pocket is this back pocket, made for a tablet, but I don't carry my tablet around that way. I've got a cart that I throw my tablet on for looking at prints and stuff like that. So here's my Tool Check Plus with the Imperial. So it's the, you know, your standard, what's that, 5/16 quarter, nope, 3/16 quarter, 5/16, 11/32, 3/8, 7/16, and 1/2 inch. I love this. These Vera bits are just really quality. They don't tear up. They don't round off as easy as other bits do. So I use this more often than I use my Klein. So I guess it is thinner, so it's handier to use, I guess, in my mind. If you got to get into a tight spot where you're using this, you might as well use as thin as you can work with, right? Then it comes with one of the wrap adapter connectors, and this little short driver. Initially, I thought that this wasn't going to be handy, but I actually really love using this. It is tiny, but you know, just like a terminating screwdriver, terminal screwdriver, tweaker, whatever you guys call them, you know, they're smaller, but it is actually really handy. I enjoy having it. This whole set, I got it on sale. It's usually, they can range from like 85 to 120. I've seen them sometimes. I got it on sale on Amazon for 65, so I jumped on it. I traded somebody at work for this little guy here. It came with a 13 millimeter, but it's pretty cool ratchet. I haven't used it all that much, but it'd be handy to have that little ratchet or nut driver and use these other bits. Deep tie wraps back in here, and then a big old reel of Velcro for tying coax cable, Ethernet cables, whatever together, and a panel. Then I just got some wire that I cut up for using for jumpers, stuff like that. So that's pretty much it that I keep in here. Again, this is my everyday bag, because I'm mostly doing access controls, so this is the bag I'm working out of the most. I did get the Tech MCT Blackout that I'm thinking that I'm going to swap to. So here sometime soon, since I finally put this video out, I'm going to swap everything over to that bag, see how I like it, and then I'll do a review on it, load it out. So let me know what you guys think. Even criticism. You know, I'm new to this YouTube video stuff, so please let me know how I'm doing, what I should do different, if I need to make shorter videos, or if there's tools you want me to go in more in depth about, I'd be happy to. I'm enjoying making these, and I'm enjoying all the comments that I'm getting so far. If you could like and subscribe, means a lot to me. Thanks, guys.